How I escaped the Matrix. Deep divers, you're probably wondering, what is the Matrix? The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room. You can see it when you look out of the window or when you turn on the television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. What truth? That you are a slave, Neo. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage. Born into a prison. You cannot smell, taste, or touch. A prison for your mind. And that's the reason, quite frankly, deep divers, I got my ass out of the Matrix. One love to you, beautiful deep divers. I woke up like this, all magical and fly. Just let's breathe. Woo! Breathing in that good ass prana, baby. What are we doing? Raising the frequency. You better be raising the vibration. Take that, take that, take that. Good ass energy I'm sending you. Peace. Infinite waters, diving deep once again. Beautiful deep divers. Much love to each and every one of you. Now, how I escaped the Matrix. I'm FaceTiming you right now, deep divers. If you are watching this video, this is your confirmation. Your dreams are manifesting, your visions are manifesting, and everything is going to work out better than you had ever imagined. All you got to do is thank the cat down the road. Now, how I escaped the Matrix. We got a whole lot to talk about. I want everybody to hit that like button right now if you support the real. Hit that like button right now, deep divers. I'm about to go in. Someone actually asked me, they're like, Ralph, can you please make a video on escaping the Matrix, how you did it? Because I see you living your best life, doing a little samba, baby. And there is a blueprint, deep divers, which I followed that helped me to escape the Matrix. And I've been out of the Matrix for a long time, since 2011. And every day keeps getting better and better and better and better. But I'm here to help you because that was the agreement. Once I got out, I had to help you get out. We ain't even had breakfast yet. Can I get a hello there? So let me tell you this, deep divers. A lot of people have now heard the word Matrix. And the great film in 1999, The Matrix. But you see, The Matrix wasn't just a film. It was a documentary. Slow motion this side. And there is a force on this planet that does not want to see human beings awakened to know who they really are. They always want to keep you in a low frequency and a low vibration. And the Matrix is everywhere. And I started to realize this growing up, and I'm like, okay, I need to find a way out. So how did I do it? Well, let me take you, deep divers, step by step. How I escaped the Matrix. You see, when I was in university, I went to the University of Westminster. And my last year, I was studying psychology. I was studying psychology and criminology. My last year, I had a breakdown because I started to become disillusioned with everything around me saying, oh my gosh, this whole thing is fake. Like, what's the point? What's the meaning? And I had a breakdown. And the breakdown was me being so exhausted about everything. Like, gosh, why do I always have to work so hard and I don't have any time for myself? And I had 1,000,001 responsibilities and everything was getting too much for me. It was overwhelming. And I realized this was the first step of me escaping the matrix. I had to have a breakdown. You see, deep divers in life, the breakdown is needed for the breakthrough. Slow motion this side. And the breakthrough came. It came because I was ready for it. It came because I heralded it in and said, today is going to be a new me. It's going to be a whole new me. I am no longer going to live a life of slavery. I'm going to be free. I don't know how. I don't know when, but I'm going to be free. And when I had that breakdown, my body was exhausted. I was tired. But through that, a breakthrough came. I was going through a very dark time. But guess what? In our darkest moments, we become illuminated. So I always want to remind you, if you really want to escape the matrix, don't be afraid of dark times. In fact, you need them to wake your ass up. So I had the breakdown. Then I had the breakthrough. And then I had to switch off their world. I had to turn off the TV. I had to turn off the distractions. And this is how I started to escape the matrix. I was realizing that the television tells lies to your vision. Tele-vision. And all of a sudden I stopped watching TV. Like literally threw away my TV. And I'm like, okay, this is kind of fun. So I had to switch off their world. I could see what was happening, like the media, what they were doing, trying to control how we think, trying to manipulate how we think. And I'm like, I've had enough of this. I want to turn off their world. So that's what I started to do. I had finished uni at this time. I was now working and I was still in the matrix, but I had a dream. I had a dream that one day I will be free, right? And that was a good starting place, right? I saved up some money, deep divers. I saved up some money, which was actually a student loan. And I started to travel around the world. I went to Brazil and I traveled to like so many different states in Brazil. And I actually came into contact with people who were living off the grid. And they inspired me to say, okay, there's another way. And I started to realize that, gosh, why are people like stressing themselves out in the West so much? And we came here to be free. So when I came back, I started to realize that nature is a secret. I got to spend more time in nature. And this is how I started to really escape the matrix. I became a nature boy, a nature wanderer. I started to reconnect. And this was the catalyst for me to escape the matrix, right? So when I started to realize that everything you need is in the heart of nature, I started to, breathe in that good ass prana, baby, okay? So escaping the matrix started with the breakdown, then the breakthrough, then unplugging, turning off their world, then reconnecting with the heart of nature. And this was the light bulb moment. I became so free, so healthy. My mental health was better. My emotional health was better. I started to realize everything is connected and we are one. And I was just like in love with the heart of nature, deep divers, okay? I want everybody to hit that like button right now, deep divers. Hit that like button. We got to talk about this. How I escaped the matrix. What came next? I started to realize that I've got to do something. I've got to share with the world. So one day I went to my backyard and I said, peace. Oh, I like that. And I just knew people around me needed that message. So I bought a camera and I started to share with the world. I made my first video saying peace. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. Then I went back to work and forgot about it. But then I came back the next day and say, wait a minute, I can change the world because I've got a gift to share with the world. I've got a talent. And I always knew it, deep divers. Inside of me, I've got a great talent to uplift people. Then I realized the word talent emanates from the Latin talentum, which means a sum of money. So my talent should bring me financial freedom and health and wealth and all of that. So I started to use my talents. I started to learn that you can be in the world, but not of the world. And that's what I started to do. I started to learn the art of being in the world, but not of the world. I started to become a magician, a wizard. And this is how I started to get out of the matrix. I would spend more time in nature than in the busy city. I would spend more time reconnecting with who I really am than being around people misleading me into the wrong direction. So I started to really honor who I was, love who I am, and accept who I am. I now knew who I am. But one thing, deep divers, my diet wasn't too good. How I escaped the matrix. You know, I was still eating fast food. And I realized this was a problem. This was a big problem because, you see, my health wasn't doing too good. I was on the toilet seat, constipation. It was not fun. But I came across a book called The China Study, right? And it was all about how the plant-based diet is fantastic. And I also came across Dr. Sebi, my food mentor. So I said, okay. I was actually at one of my relatives' house, okay? And he had a guest, and this guy was vegan. I'm like, what? He's like, I'm plant-based. I don't eat animals. I'm like, what are you talking about? I left, but then I said, wait a minute. Let me try this thing out. So instead of normal milk, I bought rice milk. Instead of like steak and spare ribs, I just said, you know what? I'm just going to, eat a Buddha bowl, eat some acai. And overnight, I really started to incorporate more plant-based food into my diet until eventually it was becoming a daily routine. Now, I used to go to one chicken shop and the guy was like, hey, why aren't you ordering anymore? I felt bad. I'm like, hey, let me just stop this plant-based stuff and go back to being a meat eater, right? But I said, wait a minute. No, I don't want the chicken. Huh? Yeah, I don't even want my mom's chicken or beef or steak. I'm like, I'm going plant-based. And deep divers, I've been plant-based for over 18 years. Slow motion this side. And that's the reason why I don't age. That's the reason why I look 18, deep divers, right? Because I'm on that plant-based diet for over 18 years. And I really found out this was one of the greatest secrets to escape the matrix, because you are what you eat. Every 35 days, your body makes new cells from the foods you are eating. You are literally what you eat. So once you start changing your diet, you start changing your whole reality and you can escape the matrix. How I escaped the matrix, deep divers, I realized that even though I was working at the time, I had to take the leap of faith, right? I had to trust myself to say, you know what? I've got to do this thing. I've got to inspire millions of people. And I said, okay, it's time for me to follow my heart. And I said, I'm going to do it. And that's what I did. I said, right now, I'm going to just follow my heart. I'm going to do it, even though people are telling me not to do it. And at that time, I was also traveled to different countries, and no fear. I'm like, okay, I can do this. Then I said, the universe reveals its secrets to those who dare to follow their hearts. Slow motion this side. So that's what I did. And I actually left my job completely. And they were very sad because I was so nice, and so was the cat down the road. We were both nice to the job deep divers, but I had to do what I had to do, right? So how I escaped the matrix, I put 100% focus on my soul purpose, calling, and mission, okay? And I didn't look back. I just kept looking forward. And as time grew, I started to say, I can do this. I started to believe in me. And I started to meditate more. I started to go inside of who I really was, spend time with myself, realize the only way out is in. And I would just be spending some time alone most of the day, spending a lot of time alone. And it's what I call going into the wilderness. And that's what I was doing. I was going into the wilderness, spending time alone. And I would just literally be in nature deep divers, meditate for like 3 hours, like just lie on the grass, head back. It was so beautiful. And all of a sudden I started to feel so free and powerful. And I'm like, okay, this is it, right? And this is how I started to escape the matrix. Because you see, in this world, you're told that being alone is a bad thing. But there's a power in being alone. You can now think for yourself. And I started to realize everything I had been told in this world was a complete lie. Okay? And I'm like, as I was meditating, I was getting all of these downloads. Like the information was inside of me that being free was our birthright and that love is the true way and not fear. And I was a whole different being, deep divers. You should have seen me, right? You can see me now, right? I'm the result of that. Oh, yeah. But I was like, okay, now I got to start connecting with people. And as Infinite Waters began to grow, I was connecting with like minds. This is how I escaped the matrix. I was realizing I wasn't the only one who saw the world like this. There were other people out there, millions of people. And I started to connect with people who were just like me. And they would tell me things, I would tell them things. And we would start to realize that history is wrong. Because history is his story. It's not yours. Slow motion this side. So I started to realize that it's time to unlearn and relearn everything. Because we have been conditioned and programmed to believe what they want us to believe. So I had to say, okay, it is time to unlearn everything and then relearn everything. And I did that with the help of like minds. That's why it's so important that you need a support network to escape the matrix. How I escaped the matrix, deep divers. I started to be as thankful as I could be every single day. Be in a state of gratitude. Say, you know what? I'm so thankful right now. Even though life is not perfect, but I'm so thankful. And the more I shifted my frequency and vibration, raising the vibration into the gratitude frequency, what happened? I started to escape the matrix. You see, if you wake up and say thank you, that means your life is good. If you wake up and start complaining, that means your life is bad. So I started to realize that words have power. And this is how I started to escape the matrix. I was seeing myself already there, mentally, feeling myself already there emotionally, to that place I've always wanted to be at. I was acting like it's already here. And I was speaking it into existence. I'm like, I'm free. I'm going to be living my best life. No, I am living my best life right now. And it's all going to work in my favor. And that's what happened, deep divers. I spoke it into existence. And I would go out, and I was in California one day, and I just went to Santa Monica and opened my arms wide and said, I'm free forever. And everything will be taken care of. I trusted the process. And this is how I escaped the matrix. And this is the reason why I'm so free. So when you remind yourself, deep divers, it went from this breakdown all the way to this, a whole new me. So such a powerful transformation. Escaping the matrix is about reminding yourself, whatever you focus on grows. I focused on elevation, inspiration, and that multiplied. If you are focusing right now on doom and gloom, chaos, the universe is going to give you more of that. Whatever you consume will consume you. So I learned the secrets, and that's the reason why I escaped the Matrix deep divers, and then just said, "Feels so good to be alive, baby. Can I get a hello?" Hey. Deep divers, I want everybody to hit that like button right now. Hit that like button, share the video, and let me say, go and check out the best-selling book, Feel Alive by Ralph Smart on Amazon, and at ralphsmart.com/thebook, the Bible of Becoming Your Greatest Version. Also, go and get the Good Ass Prana shirts at ralphsmart.com/clothes and spreadshirt.com if you're in America. And if you're a sexy ass model, woo, who has their ass out of the Matrix, you want to model the clothing? Well, go and buy some. Deep divers, the Matrix is all around us, but you can escape it when you realize you came here to be free. And also what helped me along my journey was learning how to not serve two masters. You can't serve two masters. You have to either be in or out. And I'm in my power every single day. I chose the right path, deep divers. I love all of you. Peace. Infinite waters, diving deep once again. Stay well, stay healthy. Peace. You! Deep divers, once again, make sure that you hit that like button, share the video, let me know how you escaped the Matrix as well. Leave a comment down below of gratitude and appreciation. And deep divers, stay free. You are the one. Become the one. I love all of you. Peace.